Cello, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another Demystify the Divine weekly readings and tools to connect. And as you can see tonight, I have a little co-host here. I have two co-hosts actually. I've got Mr. Keone, who's not as furry as Mr. Neo, who is going to be, I can tell right now, he's going to be giving us a bunch of earth every time he jumps on the table. So just be prepared for that. Also today is Demystify the Wine. So if you want to grab a glass of wine or a beverage of choice, by all means, join us today. So I'm just going to share that I have this ginormous rash. It looks like I've got this sort of sunburn. I got bit by some weird bug on my patio yesterday, and I'm having an allergic reaction. It's really it's a new fashion. It's all the rage. So in case you're wondering where all of that's coming from, that's where it is. And of course, I like to stay open and clear for clients. So I don't use medication of any kind in order to sort of stay open. And today, this is driving me nuts. And I was like, all right, I know I got Demystify, but I'm going to crack open a glass of wine right now because it's the only way I can get through this without clawing at my neck and clawing at my upper chest. So there you go. Life of the Black Feather Intuitive. You get the inside scoop, and I'm really quite human.
Well, there's another difference between me and your other producer. I also didn't start the show with my ass in your face. So.
Correct. Well, I don't know which one is better, though, Keone. I don't know which one is better.
Really?
I think what does everyone prefer? I'm just teasing.
This is how we're starting it off. I was here last week, wasn't I?
Yes,
it's usually like this if I take a week off, when you allow me to have a life.
No, we love you, Keone. We love you. So for those of you who are tuning in and your regulars, always thank you so much for coming in and supporting. Love to share your energy. For those of you who are tuning in perhaps for the first time, welcome. So excited to have you. There's always nonsense and shenaniganery that goes on here, as well as a lot of divine guidance, a lot of wisdom that gets passed on from our dream teams, a lot of cattail and cat butt in the face, just for a little bit of extra love and support and laughter and play. Today we are going to be tuning in and looking for our phrase of the week or our word of the week from the divine. Then we're going to do a card pull. We're going to pull a tarot and an oracle and get a really detailed general message for the collective for this week. Then we do an angel channeling, and sometimes the angel channeling comes first. Ooh, I just said something weird. I'm surprised you didn't call me out on it, Keone. Slip of the tongue. So an angel channeling, and sometimes that happens before the card pull. Sometimes it happens after. I just kind of go with what I'm told. And after that, we do a grab your deck section, which is awesome because if you want to get to know your deck a little bit better, you want to feel more comfortable and confident in using your tarot deck or your oracle deck for yourself, I encourage you to grab your deck, and what we do is we go through and I channel a couple of questions, and I give you some tips and tricks on how to take the general message and apply it to your individual life, and give you some tips and tricks on how to, I want to say, get comfortable with your deck so that you're understanding when you're pulling it for yourself what messages your guides want to offer you. So it's a jam-packed hour. And if you'd like to come on live, we would love to have you. Don't be camera shy. And if you are camera shy, you can just go on audio. That's not a problem at all. Or you can submit some questions in the comments. So, thank you, Sue. Cream with Manuka honey to use on the rash. Thank you. I've been using lavender today to try and work through it. But that's actually a really good idea. And I have to go out grocery shopping tomorrow morning anyway, so it'll be a perfect time to go and grab those supplies. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right, so Keone, I'm going to go to my happy place and see what our word of the week or our phrase of the week is.
All right.
Oh, and feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on your YouTube. and engage on Facebook. Would love to see you. And for my Insta people, come on and join us if you'd like on YouTube and Facebook. Now is not the time to hide in plain sight. Now is the time to shine your light, be bright, be bold. Embrace the uniqueness that is your soul. This is a time to rise above the struggles and the chaos that you are seeing around you. It is not to say to ignore it or to pretend that it does not exist. It is more to say that it is important to be aware of what you put your focus to, for it is the focus that you make more of. Many of you have heard this. Many of you apply this somewhat to your lives, but many of you miss the boat, as they say, and do not fully understand how this planet works, how the energy on this planet is designed to give you your heart's desire. You hear the word co-creation, and it is for you to co-create and to co-create boldly. Many of you do not understand that what is in your view or scope of life is a direct result of thoughts that you have put into the energetic field. And that energetic field is what the universe responds to. The universe is an energy. It is not a being. It simply responds to what it knows. And what it knows is frequency. If you are having a thought, and that thought is accompanied by fear or by blockage or by an outdated belief system that is no longer in alignment for you, you will co-create into your life more blockage, more opportunity to explore what is not working so that you can step into and choose its opposite. Many of you are at the beginning of this understanding and awareness. We encourage you to open yourselves more deeply to this truth. Get to know your energy. Be in alignment with frequency. Focus not on negatives. Speak not of things that you do not wish to have in your daily experience. Speak only of where you are going. And speak only of what you are blessed, as they say, to already experience in your now. Even focusing on the words positive and negative create a particular experience that may not be in alignment with what you truly wish to create. You may have noticed that the last 2 of your years have been very heavily about bringing to the surface deep wounds, cycles that serve to hold you in place, situations that can no longer be ignored. This is not by accident. You are in a collective purge, and this purge must happen on an emotional level so that all who choose to ascend may do so. This cannot be done if you continue to live out the same patterns, if you continue to put into practice the same actions. You are in a time of great change. And therefore, it is important that you make these changes for yourself on an intentional level, as well as being witness to the levels of change that are occurring collectively. Do not be afraid of the change. This is the way to access what your lives were always intended to be, what this experience in the physical body has always been intended to be. Humanity has somewhat gone off track, but now is a beautiful time where you are all returning to the path with much wisdom and understanding for what can no longer be. And this understanding opens a pathway for you to create what is good, what is aligned with the new frequencies and energies that come from love, the direct frequency of source. You are all creators. It is important that you open yourself to creation and to understand that you are a part of that creative process. You, in fact, initiate all creative processes. You may continue to dispute this truth. And every time this truth is disputed, we are happy to provide more opportunities to help you to eliminate those doubts and give you the vision of what this truth wishes to offer to each of you. We are complete. Okay, so that was my Council of Truth. And apparently they really wanted to come in and they don't really give a fig for our word or phrase of the week. Sorry, I'm burning up. So I'm going to go ahead right now. That's going to be our channeling. And I feel like I'm just going to go into the card pool and see. I feel like we all just got a kick.
Yeah, I was like, okay, there we go. They have cut us off, and we're just gonna go with that.
I just feel like I just got chastised.
Wait, hold on. I usually wait for comments, but I gotta put this up here.
Paragraph of the week. Yes. Wow. Sorry, I'm just totally taken aback.
Right, that's okay. That's why it's live, right? It's not edited or pre-recorded. We just go with the flow.
And we are in flow.
And I'm really starting to think these cards that you're giving me aren't real people. I think when I get the text from you, I think you're just now screwing with me and trying to see if I can say names and spell.
No, you got it right. You got it right.
This is not a real person. But go ahead.
She is. So this is the Violet Soul Tarot, and this is another deck that I love Kickstarter because I love to support independent tarot and oracle makers, because I made a deck for myself and I know how harrowing, how stressful, and how extremely expensive that particular process was. And so I love, I love cards and I love new things and always, helping other people to get out there and be seen and heard. So this is a deck that I sponsored, or I forget what the term is, but I signed up for it or whatever, for Kickstarter, and it arrived yesterday. And so I'm really excited about it. It's super, super cool imagery. And this deck is a little bit different in terms of tarot because it is only the major arcana. So it's not a full tarot deck with the 77 cards or 72 cards or whatever it is. Sorry, math. There's 22 major arcana, and then the rest are minor arcana and royalty cards. So this is all major arcana. So I chose this deck, A, because I just wanted to show it off because it's really cool. And B, I was told when I was kind of tuning in today, I was told that, and this kind of makes sense now that the Council of Truth kind of came through, that what they want to sort of talk about today is the overarching path of the collective. And so when we're talking about major arcana in the tarot deck, that is those cards. It is the fool's or the hero's journey in essence, or the fool's journey. So it is the overarching, I want to say, purpose, life purpose, mission, what you're here to do, how you're here to be in service. And then the minor arcana sort of is like the mundane, the day-to-day sort of things that we're processing and going through. So let's see what our card is today. The Death card. And so for those of you who follow me, know this cards. Exactly. Dun, dun, dun. So the Death card is all about change and transformation. And what I'm feeling this week is the message for all of us is, and I feel like this is a little bit of what the Council of Truth was talking about. It's kind of like sometimes we get premonitions about change, that we get the premonition to give us the opportunity to make changes about the change. Maybe we can make a different change. Maybe we can go in a different direction. Maybe we can delay the change. This is not one of those changes. The change is here. It is what it is. We need to dive in and, I want to say, embrace it, accept it. Death is coming regardless. I was just listening to somebody the other day. I can't even remember. It was a podcast that I was listening to, and I can't even remember who it was, but it was talking about, it's silly how we get so fearful of talking about death and dying, that there's this stigma about it, because it's one of the very few things in life that is part of life. I mean, we're all going to die. And yeah, what's our biggest fear? Oh my God, I could die. Someone could die in my life. Die. Yeah, we don't know. There are no guarantees in life. Death is always going to be there. Our life, our experience here on the planet Earth is birth, death, and rebirth. It's that cycle. I call it the Phoenix cycle, right? It's all the Phoenix phases, but it's the Phoenix cycle. So this week, what I'm really feeling we're all being invited to participate in right now is a complete radical acceptance of the change that is upon us. And then it's stepping in and saying, okay, how do I want to fare in this change? How do I want to contribute to this change? What do I want this change to mean for me? And we have that ability to make that happen. We absolutely do. Sometimes we don't think we do. Sometimes we feel like we're leaves blowing in the wind, and we have no leg to stand on, but that's actually not true. So what I love about this particular depiction, of course, we've got the typical Grim Reaper. We've got the moon sort of in the corner, but then we've got this sort of portal energy. It reminds me of the High Priestess, the two pillars in the High Priestess, and the High Priestess sits in the center. So death is coming up to say, hey, the sun is getting ready to rise in between these two pillars, which symbolizes that there's a death of something so that you can really connect to your intuitive guidance. There's a death of the material, or what we're seeing, so that we can create something new. And how often do you think about death in that way? How often do we celebrate, woohoo, oh my God, this is going away so that I have an opportunity to create something else and something new? But that's exactly what it is this week, is what we're seeing sort of on the collective scale, on a global scale. Yeah, it's horrible. It's awful. You know, me as an empath, me as a person, me with a heart, I look at that and I say, oh my God, why can't we just step in and change this? Why can't we just fix this? There's no reason why this should happen. And yet, from a spiritual perspective, everything that I receive is that this has to be torn down, and it has to be torn down in the way that it's being torn down. Because then everybody's awakened and focused on, we don't want to repeat that. We don't want that to happen again. So now we're all in it and we're all co-creating something better. But there's got to be a majority of individuals who are understanding that that change is necessary, that change is required, and they have to be on board with it. So death is coming up to say, hey, yeah, big changes, big transformations coming. And yeah, this figure looks a little bit scary, but honestly, it looks a bit cartoonish in some ways. And I feel like it's also an invitation to be able to look at that and say, well, if it is that cartoonish and scary, it's time for it to go. I don't want to have to sit and look at it over and over again. I want to put something else in its place, right? I want to be open to the sunrise that's happening here. I want to be open to that beautiful light. And that beautiful light is an orange. We've got some red and we've got some orange in there. So root chakra and sacral chakra. Root chakra, I feel safe and secure. I not only survive, I thrive. I have all of my needs met. I have my resources at my fingertips. The sacral chakra, sexuality, sensuality, creative expression and flow, and the ocean of our emotion. We are bringing death to an old way of feeling about things and seeing our lives so that we can bring something new into the mix. And that is necessary. That frequency is necessary in order to lay foundation for this new that we are creating. And I feel like on an individual level, this is also really important for all of us to listen to, because each of us is going through some phase of the phoenix. We're going through some birth, death, rebirth cycle. And it's time for us to not fear death, to see it instead as a natural part of our life cycle. It's like we need to give death a new name, right? We need to reword it. Don't ask me what that word is because I don't know what it is right now, but that's what's coming up. Maybe that can be our homework, is each of us on an individual level comes up with a different name for death so that we have a different connotation to it, so that there can be more of a true acceptance of it and an understanding of how important it actually is to our process. We can't be if we are not changing, if we don't have the opportunity to shift and change. Oh my God. How torturous would this, I mean, we already think it's pretty torturous. How torturous would this life be? Eesh. It's a gift that we can shift how we feel about things. It's a gift that we can change, that we can say goodbye, close the door, have a wonderful experience, and then end on a good note so that we can bring in new into the mix. That's what we're doing collectively. That's what we're also being invited to do individually this week. Okay, we're also pulling the Oracle deck today is the Lantern Oracle from Angelina Mirabito. Let's see what we got. This is also a very interesting deck, and the writing is so small, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm forever 30. I'm always going to be forever 30. And I actually had to buy some reading glasses the other day. And this deck is one of those decks that points out to me that reading glasses are necessary because they make teeny tiny writing. I'm like, shame on the publishers for allowing that.
Blame the publishers, yeah.
Shame on the damn publishers.
Yeah.
Radical curiosity. Seeing as if for the first time every time. Wow. What a perfect card to follow when we have just been sort of talking about the death that is coming up. Radical curiosity. So that I feel the radical curiosity isn't the new word for death necessarily, but I feel like we're on the right track here. You know, if instead of death, it's curiosity because there's something new coming and we can get excited about it. Curiosity means anticipation. It means I'm open to learning something new. Curiosity is I have no idea what I'm opening the door to. I have no idea what is in the mix, but I'm curious enough. I might be cautious as I approach the door and cautious as I sort of peer in and open the door a crack, but I'm still curious enough to be able to move forward and to see what is there. That radical curiosity is really important. Look, I love this card. Look at this card. We've got this beautiful sort of fairy energy. I feel like it's a fairy boy, beautiful fairy ears, playing a lute or not a lute, playing a flute or something, some kind of instrument, a recorder or something, playing a bamboo. And there's a level of innocence, but also there's a level of wisdom, wise knowing. And the wise knowing comes in that radical word. When we say the word radical, it means we've come to a place where we need to really commit. There needs to be no wishy-washy. It's I'm choosing this path and I'm going all the way. I'm fully all in. I like to say with radical, it's also the go big or go home, right? And we also think of radical as like huge shift, huge change. And sometimes people get nervous about radical. They think rebel, they think, you know, death and destruction. Well, look at what we've got in the world right now. Whether we sort of, I want to say, consciously chose it individually or not, whether we would choose it or not, it is what it is. So radical acceptance leads to radical curiosity of what can become in its place. Sorry about the earthquake. So seeing as if for the first time, every time, claiming our innocence, going back to a space where as a child, you know, when the child goes to, you know, goes out to the park for the first time, when a child goes into the grocery store for the first time, when a child goes to school for the first time, everything that they witness around them, experience, sense, see, feel, hear, taste, touch, smell, it's the first time. You and I, we've been around this merry-go-round several times, right? So there's very little, I want to say, that brings us awe and wonder. But when we step into that space of what would it be like as a child to see some of the things that we take for granted, or to experience for the first time some situations that we look at and we go, oh yeah, it's old hat. You know, I've been talking about this a lot today, actually, too. I found this other deck that I've had. It's called the Hero's Journey. I've had this deck for, I don't know, 3 years. I love the deck. And I haven't used it. Why haven't I used it? Because I went into a room that I go into for other things, not for work-related stuff. I went into it today and happened to see that the deck has been sitting there for like a year. Well, it's not like I haven't been in that room a million times. It's just, it was a bit out of place. So I just got used to, oh, it's just there. It's part of the furniture. It's part of the decoration. I started to not see it. And when I saw it, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? Come on in, you know, let's work with you today. So this is what this is like. It's like I saw it for the first time, and after having not worked with it for a year, I reconnected with it. This is the guidance and the message that our team is giving us, our dream team is giving us for this week, is stepping into that space of, okay, radical is happening. Death is happening. The change is here. I'm going to choose to accept it or not. And if I'm going to choose to accept it, maybe I choose to radically accept it, dive all in, and become curious about what is going to take its place. Something is leaving. What is going to take its place? And if I'm seeing it for the first time, I have awe and wonder about it. It's exciting. And I'm able to get excited about contributing. What is it that I want to contribute? How can I make this even better? How can I bring more of myself into this space? That is our message this week. Also, it's a number 2. So 2 is sometimes duality. It's pairing, partnership, union, divine masculine and divine feminine sort of coming together. And what I'm feeling here is when we're looking at the number 2, it's about understanding that co-creative process. It's not just me having thoughts and thinking something and then it spits out. It's me co-creating with that universal energy, co-creating with the frequency of love, co-creating with my source, co-creating with my divine dream team, and tapping in. Yeah, I initiate it. I initiate it because I'm matching my frequency to what it is that I'm asking for. And I'm co-creating with source. And source is going to say, all right, this is what she wants. This is what she gets. Done. Sold. Stick a fork in me. Let's see how it goes. So be open to that. Understand that you're not alone in the process, even though sometimes it feels like we are, because we feel sometimes very disconnected. We can because our whole purpose as humans is to come here to the planet to connect with one another. It's very easy for us to step into that space of isolation, or feeling like we don't matter, or we can't connect, or we're feeling a bit lost, or a bit off. It's not true. We're never disconnected, but we absolutely can have those feelings. And those feelings are things that we project those feelings onto ourselves, within ourselves. So the two is inviting us to kind of heal that and to step into the recognition of, yeah, it's me doing this. I'm the child with, awe and wonder in what it is that I'm doing. And there's wisdom in that radical choice. There's wisdom in the radical curiosity. And anything that I'm curious about, the universe is going to say, oh, you want that experience? Awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it. So where can you kind of show up for yourself with that this week? Where can you, I want to say, apply radical curiosity to the things that you're seeing around you that maybe are falling away? And I feel like the goal here is to give yourself a boost, to give yourself a leg up, to not feel so fearful about what is to come. Instead, let's get curious, and let's take it that step further and say, my curiosity is inviting me or opening me up to really evaluating what I want to contribute and what I want to create within this creation. Whew. Okay, so Keone, I'm going to go into my happy place and get a couple of card pull prompts for us this week while you entertain our guests.
Oh, so do you mean we're doing this?
Damn, he's good.
I've sparked your curiosity. All right, everybody. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit goofy today. It's been a long half of week. So this show brings me happiness, meeting the wonderful YouTube family every Wednesday and our wonderful people who join us on Facebook. As always, the link is in the chat on Facebook and on YouTube. If you can hear me in Instagram land, come on YouTube and you'll see the link. If you want to join live, always remember, you don't have to have your camera on if you're only wanting to be heard and not want to be seen on camera. We can have Stacy pull a tarot or oracle card for you, or you can tell us what card you've pulled. If you're pulling cards at home, put them in the chat and we'll get to you. So we'll do live people first, then we'll get to some cards that have been pulled in the chat, and then we'll get to any other questions that come up after that. That's kind of our order. As always, like, subscribe, comment. 62% of our viewers are not subscribed, so please help out the channel by making sure that you subscribe so you can get those notifications in case we do special events or change a time. I am loving the cat that just wants to be all in the show today. Get out of here, Whiskers.
He's actually rubbing up on the laptop too. So
yeah, fun. Yeah, mine gets locked in the room when I do this. Thank you all, and we have the wonderful Indu.
Sorry, Insta.
Already backstage. Christy Joe, thank you for being back. Love that you're back. Missed you while you've been gone. Some of the comments that I would like to share before you get started. From Cheryl, hi, love catching these lives. I would love to get guidance on relocating, moving next year. Thank you for catching these lives, Cheryl.
Yeah, we'll definitely tune into her.
Jose, you've got to help me out on this one because I'm a novice still. Love the death card. 13.
Yeah, 1 + 3 is 4. So numerology, absolutely. So yeah, Jose and I, we are fans of the death card. So
Okay.
The numerology of 4. So if we break down, the death card is 13, number 13 in the major arcana. And so when we break down 13, it becomes a 4. And 4 is all about foundation. It's laying a new foundation, and it's laying a new foundation that is connected to what we choose to manifest into the physical. And the 1 and the 3 is interesting because 1 is all about new beginning, or me, myself, and I connected to that. I am the creator of my own life. And 3 is creation. So if I am the creator and I am creating, what is going to come as a result of that? A new foundation where all manifestation can occur. But you want to make sure that your foundation is solid. It's a platform that can support what you're manifesting. So that's why the death card is sort of in the middle of the, I want to say, the fool's journey. So yeah, that's great. I'm really glad that you pointed that out.
And then Susie says, I think you're so brilliant, and I find it hilarious that you shuffle oracle cards like a pro
card player. Thanks, Susie. That's awesome. I'm glad that you find it hilarious. I hope that people find it a bit hilarious. Neo keeps wanting to knock down my
That's because cats are eating, like the cat.
So getting smacked in the face by his nonsense and shenaniganery. So
Cats, they don't want your attention, and then they want your attention when they know you're doing something else.
Oh, of course. And I mean, I fed everybody before we went on live today so that, bellies would be full and they would be, still. But he's a camera hog. He just loves to be on camera. That's just his thing. So, all right, here are our card pulls. Card pull number 1. What card energy can help me to open to radical curiosity this week? I went obvious today. So what card energy can help me to open to radical curiosity this week? Card pull number 2. What card energy can give you courage around what is dying or falling away in your life to open to new opportunities? What card energy can give you courage around what is dying or falling away in your life to open to new opportunities? So this is really tying into, I want to say, what the Council of Truth came through with, which is, let's not be fearful of death. Let's get on with it. It is what it is. And now let's move forward. So I felt like that was kind of appropriate. All right. So who we got first?
Oh, we've got the tried and true Indu.
Hey, pretty girl, how are you?
Hi, Stacey. Hi, Keone, and hi, Neo.
Yes, Mr. Neo, our guest performer today.
That's honor too.
Yes, I love your pink shirt. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So, did you know that when you are drawn to a particular color and wearing a particular color, it connects to the particular chakra area that needs more attention or needs a little more balance or alignment? So, pink is connected to the heart chakra, which is the self-love, self-care, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and of course, our favorite, unconditional love. So I feel that that's what you are exuding out into the world today.
Oh, thank you. And that's a message I needed to hear.
There you go. That's awesome. All right. So are you pulling from your own deck today, or do you want me to pull a card for you?
I want you to do it because it's been kind of a spacey week for me. And so I trust your guidance and wisdom. So I'm in your hands.
Awesome. Do you want tarot, oracle, or one of each?
One of each.
All right. Let's do it. Yeah, we're going to pull a card. Oh, thank you. So what card energy can help you to open to radical curiosity this week? I'm pulling a tarot card for you. The moon. Beautiful. So the moon is things aren't always what they seem. It really talks about the mystery. It talks about illusions, but it is also what governs our moods. It governs our ocean of emotion, and it governs our intuition. This is very intuitive in nature. Archangel Haniel is connected to the moon. She's sort of the goddess of the moon. All right, Neo, that's enough. The goddess of the moon. And what I feel for you here is Haniel is coming through because Haniel wants to connect with you this week. Haniel wants to work with you directly on connecting your intuition with the ocean of emotion, the feelings that you're having. And I feel like this keeps coming up a lot, but feelings are neither true nor false. They simply are, right? And we know this, but we can say this and we can think this, but do we know it? Do we feel that? And I feel like she's coming through because she wants to address that with you and say, we need to get you into a space where you feel that, where it is your truth. It's not just something that you say, it's something that you are feeling and experiencing in really big ways. So the moon is coming up because I feel like things aren't always what they seem. How you are feeling isn't always what you think you're actually feeling, or what you're feeling isn't actually a direct result of a problem or a situation. It could be something that you're simply processing and releasing without having to dive into it specifically. So the moon and the moon, I mean, she's got these beautiful coyotes, dogs, wolves. They're always represented a bit differently. She's always got companionship. She's never alone. And so you want to lean into the strength of that. I feel like that's really important this week. Your second card is, this is the Oracle. What card energy can give you courage around what is dying or falling away in your life to open to new opportunities? Ooh, home. May your body be where a harmonious balance of love, strength, light, and pleasure lives. Oh, I love this. So, what card energy can give you courage around what is dying or falling away? It's getting into the body. It's enjoying the sensual pleasures of life. It's not shying away. It's getting out of the head and really just embracing your physicality. Now, 42 also breaks down into a 6. So I feel that there's a level of balance, harmony that is wanting to, I want to say, take root within the physical body. And I mean, I'm cheating here a little bit because I happen to know that you recently have been on a particular wellness journey. What I'm feeling is this card is coming up specifically to acknowledge that, yeah, you're at home now and this is where the magic's going to happen. And where is home? The home is in your body. You are in your body. Your body is your home. Think of yourself like a turtle. The turtle takes his home with him wherever he goes. It doesn't matter where he is, there he is, right? There's his home. So I feel like for you, it's understanding that any work, any effort, any information, any healings, any intentional stuff that you've set, work that you've done, it's all happening, and it's happening in the physical realm. It's happening in the body. So get to know your body again, because you're going to be getting to know your body from a new perspective. It's not going to be, what am I trying to say? Your body's different. You're different. And we all are different. I mean, we're all different. I'm different from who I was an hour ago, right? We all change, and our cells change on a consistent basis. So this is scientific that we're talking about. But also from an energetic perspective, this is about you getting to know this new version of you from a physical perspective. And it's really going to help you to, I want to say, to celebrate what is falling away and leaving the body, and to be curious about what is coming into the mix and into its place. And don't forget, you have the power, the ability to be able to co-create that and to say, here's what I want to put in its place. Here's how I want to feel.
All right. Thank you.
All right, girl.
Thank you.
So great to see you. And I love that pink shirt.
Thank
Rock
you.
the pink shirt.
I do.
How are you? The hand. We see the hand.
Thank you,
Have
everybody.
an amazing week.
You too. You guys.
All right. See ya.
Next we have on is Christy.
Hey, Christy, how are you?
Oh my gosh, hey, I've been gone for a long time, and so many things that you said really hit home, and I would just like for you to pull a card for me, if you could.
Absolutely. Do you want a tarot or an oracle card today?
I think I'm going to go with one of each as well, just because, too, like I said, since my mom passed away, and I was an only child, and my mom was an only child, and we lost my grandma the year before, the number 222 came up for us everywhere, all the time. And since they both passed away, it's been almost 2 years now. It's been coming up everywhere. Yeah. So I went through just a little kind of funk where I was just kind of depressed and just kind of, I guess it's part of the grieving thing still, and I've kind of fallen away from, like everything, just, the things that I enjoyed, like this. So I'm glad to be back because I feel better, and I've got so much to be happy for. All my kids are doing wonderful in their lives, and it's just been a great journey I've had the last 4 years. So I want to see, obviously, my mom's communicating with me. I'll see the number at a time that I guess I need to, obviously. And I have a lot of things that are coming up for me, big things. And I know that I'm doing the right thing, and I know that I'm going in the right direction. I guess I just want a card to kind of maybe just confirm those things, and then to see what I can work on. What can I start working on now?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, my heart goes out to you about your loss, and I love that they're all communicating with you through the number 2. So if we think about that, basically they're saying to you, hey, you're never alone. You're not doing this thing called life alone. And even though we're not there with you in the physical, we're still here, and we're still, laying the groundwork. We're still clearing a path for you to be able to, sort of walk on the path, and we're still participating in your life. So I absolutely love that. And I love that the 2 came through for you today too, the radical curiosity. So you're right, they are speaking to you.
Yes.
Okay, let's dive into what card energy can help me to open to radical curiosity this week. And I feel like this is really significant because it happens to be the question that I chose happens to connect to the card that is the number 2 of the radical curiosity. So there's something there too. I was going to get excited if we pulled a 2 here, but we didn't. We pulled the strength card, number 8. And so what I'm feeling here when we're talking about opening to radical curiosity, for you, it's connecting to that, I want to say that inner child, but it's not inner child in terms of, my inner child is wounded and I need to sort of heal her. I feel like the inner child is kind of like you want to tap into the inner child's wisdom. And so when we're talking about wisdom, it's kind of like what we were talking about with this card as well, is that you've got these kids that it's fresh and new, and we can learn so much from their awe and their wonder. We can also learn so much from the things that kids say, because oftentimes they don't edit themselves. They're very authentic. They're very awesome and out there, and they just say whatever is on their mind. And I feel like for you, connecting with your inner child, the wisdom of your inner child this week is really going to help you to step into that space of, okay, I'm rewriting death. Death is the scary word. It's got so many connotations. So I'm rewriting that word, and I am stepping into celebration and understanding that I'm getting these 222s all over the place, which says to me, I'm still connected. I'm still connected with my loved ones. And even though I can't see them with my physical eyes, I can feel them. I can see them with my third eye. I can feel them in my body. This card is very connected to solar plexus chakra. It's also the card of Leo. So there's a lot of sun energy here. There's a lot of power from a sun perspective. Nice to see your face.
I have to tell you, my son is with me, my youngest. I have 6 kids, and he's the youngest. And he's 8, and he is a Leo.
Well, there you go. This is his card as well. I love that.
Yeah.
So just getting
hi. He said hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm actually getting a hit on that there's something really exciting coming up for him this week that's going to involve, I want to say, a truth revealed. So something where he was told something else, or there's something going on where somebody said something other than the truth, and the truth is going to be revealed. And it's almost like vindication, but him being 8, he's not seeing it in the ways that you and I see it. He's sort of seeing it in the ways of, oh, okay, well, I always thought that was the case. I didn't quite understand why so-and-so told me that wasn't. So, okay, well, that's great. It's like it doesn't hit him in the self-doubt area the way that it kind of hits the rest of us at times. And so I feel that he demonstrates a level of strength because he never doubts himself. He just assumes that, okay, this person, it wasn't their truth. It didn't make sense to them. But there's going to be a level of vindication that comes up. I feel like this is around school, something that's going to happen with schooling and quite frankly, a teacher giving him misinformation about something. So just kind of
well, that's funny because last week he did get into a little altercation with some other students, but I know personally that he's been bullied, and so it kind of that contributed to it. But that totally makes sense, huh, Bob? That totally makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's exciting because you're gonna be
hard. I've had to tell him. Yeah, I told him he has to stand up for himself, but it's really hard, because you have to stand up for yourself with words. And so I'm really proud of him because he did the right thing in the situation. And you're right. So he will be vindicated for that. That sounds good.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And, the bullying is so unfortunate, but I'm going to just tell you, bullies do what they do because they're really fearful in themselves. They don't feel good about themselves. And so often with good-hearted people like you, they project, they throw it onto you because you're in essence a safe place. Whereas other people in their lives who are bullying them aren't safe places. So not to say you have to take it. It's important to stand up for yourself. Right. Don't take it so personally,
Right. And
all right. So your second card, what card can give you courage around what is dying or falling away in your life to open to new opportunities? This is amazing. You got a 5, which is change and transformation, the unknown. So the unknown says knowing the unknown. And I feel like for you, when we are talking about the courage to let it go, it's really embracing that unknown. It's very similar to the radical curiosity. It's saying, okay, it's happening. I can't change it. So now let me walk through this door with a little bit more confidence and courage, because the unknown doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's the boogeyman. And I'll say to you quite honestly, with the loss that you've been going through, you understand more so than many people that there is pain at the loss, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still standing. There's still so much to be enjoyed and to be experienced and to be savored, So you've conquered the fear, because I'm sure you had a lot of fear when your mom was transitioning. You were like, oh my God, I want this to happen. What does life look like without her?
My mom, she was only 58, and it was, a shock. But there's been so much growth, and she tells me in her ways that she's proud of me for these things, and it's just always a constant reminder and confirmation of, wow, I'm doing the best I can. I'm living my best life right now, and I know that they both love that too. But it has been, I was just saying today that my life, I was born into chaos. Literally, my parents were bikers. Yeah, they were bikers. And the life I grew up in was very different from what I've been giving my children. And that chaos was like a growth that I didn't know existed, but everybody else could see, And when I went through the rehabilitation that I went through 4 years ago and turned my life around, I got rid of that growth, that chaos. And I just sunk in today after 4 years that I don't have that chaos anymore. And I don't really miss it. I mean, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey the last 4 years. And I just want to say, while I've got you, you have helped a lot. With your readings and things that you were giving me before. You guys, both of you guys are awesome.
Aww, and thank you.
I really do enjoy what you do. So,
well, thank you for tuning in and welcome back. I understand that sometimes we need to take a step back from everything, you know,
Right.
and just really kind of reconnect with self. And then there are times when we are sort of called back into those spaces. We need that extra
Yeah.
support, or sometimes we need to share. And I feel like that's what you're stepping
Yeah.
into right now, is you're sharing your story. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know a lot of people listening and watching needed to hear that as well.
I hope so. Well,
Absolutely.
thanks again, you guys.
Oh,
have a great night.
Pleasure. Thank you. And have a great night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, hon.
Patsy Carey, let's pull a tarot card for Patsy Carey, please.
All righty. And there was someone else, there was a comment that you put up that I said I would answer.
Yes.
One of the first comments that you put up.
Yes, your producer remembers.
Awesome. Okay.
I am not Hakeem. He's not going to watch this, so he won't hear that.
I love Hakeem. He's the tall, what do I say, the tall and silent type or something. There's a saying that I always say, not silent and deadly. It's tall, dark, and handsome, or tall, dark, and quiet.
Why am I dodging your cat like it's in front of me? I just moved.
I know. It's like he's driving me nuts today. Okay. I love you. All right, Patsy, your card is the Judgment card. And I love Judgment because judgment and death are, I want to say, very, very closely connected, very closely linked. In fact, they both are what I call Phoenix cards. So Judgment is, I call this card the Phoenix Rising. So Phoenix Rising is, you've come to a space where you've gone through the hero's journey. You're coming up to the end of it. And now you have the option to say, did I learn the lessons? Did I have the experience that I needed to have or wanted to have? Am I ready to end this particular cycle and move into something new? And Judgment basically says, okay, you've got a decision to make. And once you make the decision is, do I go back into that cycle and, you know, relive or revisit what this is so that I can learn the lesson more deeply? Or am I ready to move forward and say yes to this newness? And which means that I'm completely shedding. You know, the death card is kind of like it's the message that some change is coming. The change has already happened. I'm in the process of birthing myself. I'm in the birth canal. Am I really ready to birth myself? Am I ready to come through that birth canal into something new? And so I feel like for you, Patsy, this week, you want to really be giving some thought to, I feel like for you, it's giving thought to how much how do I put this? Something that you have been processing and going through. It's almost like you've gotten so used to the cycle of the process that you're forgetting that you don't need to process it anymore. So I feel like Judgment is coming up to basically say to you, hey, you're ready. You're ready to go through the birth canal. You're ready to be done with the cycle. And of course, we all have free will. So your guides can't make the decision for you. You have to make it for yourself. The Judgment card is coming up to say you're ready. Let go and move forward into that unknown. You know, move forward into that radical curiosity. Release the fear. Or if you can't release the fear, because, you know, fear is what it is, recognize that fear, again, is neither truth nor false. It is a feeling. And it's a feeling that is generated by the ego. And so your ego voice is popping up saying, oh my God, I'm trying to protect you from hurt, from having something horrible happen again. But the ego can't discern between having your arm amputated and having a Band-Aid ripped off the arm. And I feel like for you not to negate what you're sort of experiencing or going through, because I feel like what you've been going through has been, you know, pretty intense, but you've been through it. You've processed it. It's kind of like now the process has become the issue. So the guidance here is let go and move forward. Step into that unknown. That's really, really important. And the other beautiful thing about the Judgment card is it really symbolizes a complete new beginning. It is saying yes to what arises in your life and saying, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for the next level And that's what you're moving into. There's a part of you that's a little fearful of that next level, but if you choose it, you will be pleasantly surprised. And also, I just want to say to Christy, judgment is 20, which breaks down to a 2. So I just want to point that out as well, that there's another 2. So thank you, Patsy, for asking for a card pull. I love that you got judgment. And by the way, I just love this card in particular. Look at all the beautiful colors in this. It's just amazing.
And the Swedish flag. Okay. Cheryl's saying, I love catching these lives. Would love any guidance on relocating, moving in the next year.
Yes. So Cheryl, guidance around moving or relocating in the next year. I'm hearing April, May. I'm hearing relocation rather than a move. So I definitely feel like you're going to be going somewhere different, somewhere new, but it's somewhere that you've been before, not somewhere that you have lived in before or lived there before, but it's somewhere that you have been before, somewhere that you have visited. And I feel like it's more of like a vacation. You've gone on vacation there. I feel also like this relocation or where you're going to go is not necessarily on the list of where you're thinking you might go. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise that this opportunity presents itself. And I'm feeling that it's going to be really exciting. I also feel like you're going to need to, I want to say, take a little bit of a leap of faith when this opportunity presents itself. It feels like at first glance, it appears to be a bit unattainable, or you're looking at it going, wow, there's a lot that would need to happen in order for that to occur. But I feel like for you, it's just being open to the process, and the process will figure itself out. I'm hearing April or May. Now, I like to tell everybody, don't get too hung up on timing. Our timing and divine timing are often 2 different things. So it's just kind of what I'm tapping into right now. It could happen a little sooner than that time. It could happen a little later. It could happen right on time with that. Most times it's pretty on par, but we all have free will. So, you know, if you leave this call today and you make a different choice, you know, based on it, it's going to sort of shift up the timeline. So just kind of be aware of that. But I feel overall that the relocation is going to be exciting. It's going to be a good thing for you. It's going to be exciting. And there's something unexpected. And I feel like it's the actual location you're going to go to that's been unexpected, which is, I want to say, awesome. It just feels awesome.
You're scary.
Try that.
You're scary. You know why you're scary? Because when I saw this question, I was going to Cherry. I don't think they say Cherry. I was going to ride on Cheryl's coattails and say, I want to ask the same question, because 2 hours before I got on here, I made the decision that I'm moving next year after May to a place that I just visited 3 months ago.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's why I was making that face when I said that. I was like, well, if I would have asked, you would have hit the nail right on the head, and I didn't even talk to you about it.
No, I didn't know anything about that.
Correct.
That's amazing. I'm excited for you. I'm also excited for Cheryl. There are a few people I feel right now that are feeling that moving bug. And a lot of people I feel are going to be doing some shifting and relocating and moving around. And a big part of that, just understand that it's energy. You know, you're being drawn to a different area because the energy of the new area is going to support you differently. So very, very fun.
Wow, very, very fun. And fun makes the time fly.
Yes, it does.
It makes the time fly. Sorry for those that we didn't get to. We had, you know, sometimes more energy is required when you deal with one person or another. And so sometimes we get 10 in here and sometimes we get 2. But whoever's on here, we love to give our full attention and make sure that they get something worthy on it. So try to join live. That's your safest way to make sure, because we're going to get through all the lives, whether we go over time or not. I had a great Wednesday with you, Stacy, and our YouTube, Facebook family, and people on Instagram. And as usual, I'll let you take us home.
Awesome. I enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I see that we had some new people here as well, someone from India. So thank you very much for joining us. Just want to let you guys know, if you're interested, we've just released, it went out November 1st. I'm super excited about it. I created a personality profile. It's all about phoenixes. And there's a quiz that you can take, a free quiz on my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com, called Find Your Phoenix. And you can go and check it out and find out which kind of phoenix you are and find out what different phases of the phoenix there are. Would love to have you check it out. And also, a lot of us are really struggling right now. If you find yourself struggling and you really could just use a little bit of guidance, I would love to connect with you. This is what I do. I connect with people all day long. I tune in and help them to get some clarity around those issues that they're really struggling with, and to bring a little hope and some clear direction and some practical application to how they're going to be able to sort of move through any changes and transformations that we're all in. So feel free to check out my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. I would love to connect and be of service. Thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing week. Transform well. We'll see you later.